Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing great and in the best of health. Welcome back to the Transforming with Tea podcast. I'm your host, Tifa Labib, a girlie who's obsessed with bettering herself and transforming throughout all aspects of her life. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see from the title above, we are wrapping it up. We are wrapping up 2025, which is so fitting because today is literally the last day of 2025. So here we are. I might as well say Happy New Year at this point. But, I'm just glad that you were able to join me today. And I absolutely appreciate the fact that you're here with me today. Right after you tell me how you're doing, I need to know, how has your 2025 been? In 2 or 3 words, just tell me in the comment section down below. How has your 2025 been? And I almost can't stop smiling this hard because I'm looking back at 2025 and I'm just like, child. But the fact that I'm able to smile at this point, I'm like, you know what? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. This has been a very, very interesting year for me. That's definitely the top word that I can use to describe 2025. But Alhamdulillah, I'm still here. I'm still smiling. How I'm able to even smile this hard at this point of this year is nothing short of a miracle, because it has been a roller coaster, that's for sure, but Alhamdulillah. Interesting and roller coaster are definitely up there as to the words I would use to describe 2025. What are the 2-3 words you would use to describe 2025? Comment it down below. I was going through my pictures and my memories and images from January 1st, 2025, and I was like, yo, this has been a year. This has been a year. And like, there's some weeks I haven't taken pictures, and I'm like, I know exactly what was happening in these specific weeks. I was just in the pits of it. But it's very interesting to just look back and be like, oh wow, I did that too, because in as much as there's like some really, really low days, there is some highs in there, like some good, amazing days, amazing moments that I'll always cherish, I'll cherish forever. Just because there has been a couple of few lows, we're not going to disregard the highs. We touched on this in the previous episode. We're not disregarding our good days just because, the bad ones were there and we felt them harder. But, all in all, we say Alhamdulillah la kulli hal, because we're still here. We're still able to smile. We're still, doing things. Whatever that is for you, we thank God. We thank God and we hope and pray for a better tomorrow and a better year, in 2026, inshallah. The highs, the lows, the in-betweens, just made me think of how I am ending 2025, how I am closing this chapter, how I am wrapping it up. And it's so interesting because I am closing 2025 in a very, very calm note. It's not low, it's not high, it's not, all these crazy things. And it's also not, down in the gutters kind of thing. I'm just in a calm, peaceful state of mind right now as of 31st December 2025. And it's crazy because how are you calm? Because there is a lot of uncertainty. I am also closing it with uncertainty, by the way. That's another word I can throw in there, because I quit my job. I quit my job end of November, and I was like, now I'm done for now. I'm done. This December has definitely been me taking in what 2025 was, trying to just internalize sometimes we go through life and we're just running and running and running and running and doing and doing and doing. And we don't take in a moment to be like, and what was that all about? I definitely, intentionally, genuinely took December and did that. I sat with all my decisions. I sat with all, the things that I did. I sat with all the feelings that I felt, and I faced them and we had a chat. I just took the time, and I know I've been MIA if you're in my life, and if we talk often, you've definitely sensed a bit of a disconnect this December, but that's because, I just took in the time and just woosad. As I mentioned, there's a lot of uncertainty for me, especially around the fact that I just up and quit my job. And it's like, oh my God, what now? What is your actual source of income at this point? What are you planning to do? It's like, what next? It's like, do we find another job? Do we, try figure out and, do what we've always desired to do, self-employment, being your own boss, trying to figure out what I can do around that as well. And granted, of course, focus on the family business more as well. There's just a lot of that. But in as much as there is so much uncertainty, there is so much tawakkul. Like, I am really, really honing in on that trust in Allah, in that Allah got me. Allah got me. I don't know how He's gonna do it and how He's gonna help me out or where we're gonna be in the next 6 months. But I know He got me, so I'm really, really honing on that, and I'm really, really trusting that. As it's always said, if all your matters are in Allah's hands, you can just let your heart be at peace and just let it go and just, try to relax. And it's so hard to do that. It has been it has been so hard to do that, because sometimes I find myself like spiraling in my thoughts. Oh my God, what now? What next? What do I do? What am I going to do? Did I do the wrong thing? Did I do the right thing? It's like, there's a lot of that. Where will we be in 3 months? Where will we be in 6 months? Blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Even if I didn't quit, who's to tell I would still be in that job in 3 months or in 6 months, And living in Tawakkul and believing in my heart that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to work out in the best possible way. And I fully, fully believe that. I definitely have no idea how 2025 was for you. Granted, I know you're going to tell me in the comment section, but I just certainly hope that you didn't take this December and try to take every single thing you wasn't able to take in the other 11 months. I hope December was as much of an exhale as it was for me. I hope you didn't try to, do or I don't know, just hone in on everything that you felt was lacking in 2025, because that's not what this last stretch is normally about. See, it's a very, very different perspective, because every single time I come on here in December, I'm like, guys, lock in. And granted, we should lock in, but not in the expense of our own sanity, because let's be real, it's not all about ticking every single thing that's on the list. It's never about that. And if there's something that I learned in 2025, it's definitely that. Like, all these goals, everything on your vision board, granted, 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 this is all about transforming our lives and bettering ourselves. And so I will not say that, okay, that's not important. You shouldn't try to better yourself. You shouldn't try to transform yourself. That will be a very contradicting statement from someone who loves talking about, us bettering ourselves. But what I am saying is, it's not all about taking every single thing on that vision board, on that goals list. Life is not just about that. There is clearly a very significant personality shift that happens as you grow older. Like, life is no longer just about being seen, trying to be this vision board worthy girly. It's more than that. You're like, but am I well rested though? Am I breaking my back? Am I bending backwards for this? And it's not worth it. Is this actually worth it? You find yourself asking yourself these very significant questions that are truly what life is all about. You want to be rested, you want to be regulated, and you absolutely have no time. You're completely unavailable for things that are draining. And I think that is what this is all about, Because this go, 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 go hustle culture, I am not for it. I've been for it for a minute. I'm not for it anymore. I'm not for it anymore. For real, for real. I'm definitely proud of myself this year. I kept going amidst chaos, amidst depression. No, I'm not going to say depression. I'm going to say immense sadness amidst all the crazy things and all the good things. I am proud of myself for being here, for making it this far, for still having a smile on my face. I'm really, really proud of myself. And I hope you are just as proud of yourself for every single thing that has happened. The highs, the lows, you're still here. And if you're not proud of yourself, I am proud of you, child. I'm very, very proud of you. We kept going amidst all that spiritual warfare and everything. We kept going, and I feel like some of us at this stage are feeling, I didn't accomplish this, I didn't accomplish that, I didn't do my best, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But there's a different angle to look into. There's a different perspective I want us to look through. This different angle and this different perception came after I read something. And it's like, if you had a goal that you needed to focus on and you didn't fully focus on it, but you was able to focus on something different that needed your attention at that time, I need you to be okay with that. Because you focused your attention on something that needed your urgency, that needed your time and your focus at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I wasn't able to do this, which I thought was really, really important and on my priority list. But turns out this was more urgent and this was more priority level than this one. You know what I'm saying? So I need you guys to be okay with that. Be like, okay, I wasn't able to do this, which I thought was it, but I did this, which was actually it. So don't beat yourself up for not doing this. And actually reevaluate all the goals that you had, because let's be honest, the person you were in January 2025, date 1, is not this person closing this chapter on the 31st of December 2025, is it? Let's be honest, it's not. So all those goals, all those things you thought was so, so important, turns out they aren't. Turns out that's not who you are anymore. That's not what's important to you anymore. That's not your priority anymore. And that's totally, totally fine. I'll actually talk about this more in my next episodes. Whereas, we need to constantly reevaluate ourselves, reevaluate our goals. The person you were in January is not this person right now. So, yeah. I will tell you this. As long as you were not on autopilot in 2025, you did a great job. As long as you were fully, fully present in every single thing you needed to be fully, fully present in, you did great. As long as you were able to focus on the things that needed your focus and attention at that time, you did great. Regardless of whether you feel like, oh my God, there's a lot of things I didn't tick off my box. That doesn't matter. that really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you can tick everything and still feel unfulfilled. And guess what? You can tick one thing or two things and feel so good about that. Because you know what? Yeah, I actually had this yesterday. You look at the list of the things that you wrote at the beginning of the year, and you're so upset that some of them are not ticked, but you forget there are some things that were not on the list that you actually did. You actually accomplished that. You actually did that. It's so crazy, but in the best possible way. It's such an enlightening way to see things in this perspective and in this angle. I'm telling you, I'm a changed woman. I truly am. We're always trying to run and achieve and take all these things. But I'm here to tell you that your exhaustion is not a trophy. Your burnout is not an achievement. It's really not. You need to stop, pause, reflect. Is this even what I want to do? Really? Is it? Because most of the time, it probably isn't. And most of the time, you're probably not that person who wrote that goal. It's no longer important to you anymore. Moving forward in 2026, I definitely still want us to have goals. Child, what do you think this is? I definitely still want us to have goals, but attached to the goals, I want us to put the emotional destination we want to achieve, the emotional state we want to feel when we achieve the said goal. Like, how do you want to feel in 2026? How do you want to feel after you've smashed that goal, after you've ticked that goal out? It's not just about, oh, I'm ticking goals, I'm ticking goals, I'm ticking goals. No, what does that goal mean to you? I'm going to ask you, how do you want to feel after you've achieved that goal in 2026? Based on where you want to be at, based on that goal, how do you want to feel? Let's say, for example, your big goal for 2026 is to lose weight. I want to lose weight. And my question to you is, so yeah, you have lost the weight. It's end of 2026. How do you feel about that goal? How do you feel about losing that weight? You have lost it now. How do you feel? And I need you to attach it with words like, now I feel healthy. Now I feel energized. Now I can be more present in my life. I am feeling amazing in my own skin. I want that emotional destination. That feeling is very important. It's not just about ticking things and achieving these goals. It's about, oh damn, I do feel accomplished after finishing this project. I do feel proud of myself. I do feel confident that moving forward, I can actually do things. I trust myself more. Those feelings are important. Choose an identity shift and hone in on it. I'm not going to tell you, guys, let's reinvent ourselves for 2026. Because let's be honest, how many times can we rebrand? How many times can you actually rebrand? I mean, do you want to be 10 people by the end of 2026? You're constantly each month rebrand. Hey, choose one identity shift. Choose who you want to be and stick by it. If there's going to be a rebrand, let it be one wholesome and very intentional rebrand. Let's not rebrand based on what other people are doing. Let's not rebrand. Okay, we're rebranding. No more colorful clothes, no more this, no more that. Those are superstitious stuff. Granted, do look good. Do look good and do dress up in the best possible way you possibly can to make yourself feel great and confident, but not based on other people's expectations, other people's own goals. Nah, it's based on you. Who do you want to be? You need to lock in. You need to see, who is this person I want to be, and be that person. Don't be anyone else that is not this person. And that's the whole point of rebranding. That's the whole point of reinventing yourself. I'm definitely going to have a whole episode on rebrand and reinventing ourselves, but not in a superstitious way. We're not doing that around here. This rebrand and this reinvention will not be based on superstitious stuff. It will be based on who you are in 2025. Who was Tifa in 2025? What worked for Tifa in 2025? What didn't work for Tifa in 2025? Tifa had this goal in 2025. Is this goal still important? Yes or no? If yes, then, there's follow-up questions for that. If no, scratch that goal. It's no longer in our books. It's no longer in our cards. We're letting it go. It's not based on anyone else but yourself. Rebrand based on yourself. Does this outfit make me feel comfortable? Does this outfit make me feel proud and confident in myself? It's not about, what's in fashion right now. It's about, am I pleasing myself right now? Am I pleasing my Lord right now in this outfit? If the answer is no, please, I beg, remove that outfit. Remove it now. Like, it's stuff like that. It's questions like that. We need to be very, very intentional moving forward. We can't just dilly-dally through life anymore. We genuinely cannot. We need to do genuine self-audits, genuine reinventions. If we are trying to better ourselves, if we're trying to transform ourselves, it needs to be something that is truly, truly, truly in alignment with who we are or who we aspire to be. Moving forward, we will still have goals. The goals are important in life. We will plan on them goals and we will put in the systems for those goals. This is the GPS method from Ali Abdal. If you know him, goal, plan, system. There'll definitely be more episodes around that. What kind of goals do we want? How are we planning to achieve these goals? What are the systems and actionable steps that we're taking to actually achieve these goals? All in all, I will say this. We thank God for 2025. We thank God that we've made it out alive. There's definitely a lot of people who haven't made it out, and so we've got to be grateful that we're still here. We're still kicking, and no bad moment or no bad day should trick us to believe that we have a bad life. I will say this on and on and on and on for the rest of my life, because I have seen shige, I've seen dust, but I've also seen good things happening. And I've also been tricked by my own brain to think that, there's nothing more to life, kind of thing. We are in control of our brains. Our brains are not in control of us. As they say, life isn't tied with a bow, but it is still a very, very precious gift. And so we are blessed to have it. We're thankful to be here. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We have seen Shige in 2025, and may 2026 be a way, 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 way better year for all of us. May it work out in the best way, better than how we even imagine it for ourselves, inshallah. We're not negotiating. 2026 will be it. 2026 will be it, inshallah, inshallah. And even when we are in those short dark tunnels, may there be rays and a bit of light in there with us, throughout that tunnel, that very short tunnel. Inshallah, may we not, endure big, long, dark tunnels. May it be short and sweet with rays, of course. And may we see light at the end of each short, dark tunnel. May 2026 be our year, for sure. And it's not just about 2026. May our next days be better than what we've left behind, right? I mean. If you reach this part of this episode, it really, 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 really means a lot. I feel like I've spoken more than I intended to, but it's kind of flowed. So here we are. But I appreciate you. I am thankful to you. And I'll see you in the upcoming episodes, and I'll see you next year, inshallah. Bye bye.